For my family, our CF journey started in 1990 when Andrea was born. With no CF history in our family and with 2 healthy sons, we were not prepared for the news that our newborn daughter had cystic fibrosis. Andrea was critically ill, and this is a picture of her still in the hospital. She was hospitalized her first 6 weeks of life. What she taught me was that Andrea had CF, but CF didn't have her. She was a normal child, and she needed an opportunity to have a normal life, so that was really the goal before us. We included in our day the care that she needed and that she required to maintain her health, but we maintained a normal family environment. Our home life was not about CF. We were blessed with 3 great kids, and we parented them all with the same guiding principles of love and discipline and of setting high expectations for their lives. Her brothers played soccer, so at 4 I went up and signed her up for a little soccer team, and I thought I better be the coach so I can control her environment. Wasn't sure really what we were getting her into. So we started a little soccer team. They're my soccer players. So with me being the coach, I could really, control the environment. That was really what I was, again, trying to do, just to give her normal life, but a healthy environment.
I was called a diva because I have a pink mask. I bought this mask because I don't usually like wearing the little white ones. I think it's boring. And I think you need to have as much fun with this as you possibly can. So I bought a pink mask. But I also bought this pink mask because I was going up to Boston. A trip we had already planned. It was me, my mom, and my sister-in-law. We went up to Boston, and I met a friend named Lauren. She also has CF. And I met her actually through the online CF community. And Lauren she's my age, and she's very healthy as well. And she has the same outlook on life as I do, and it's a positive one. You really can't get through having CF or really having any sort of long-term struggle without having a positive attitude. When I was growing up, I rarely noticed or really cared that I had any differences from my peers. I knew I took enzymes with when I ate, and I did treatments on a daily basis, but other than that, it just didn't matter that I was different. I didn't really notice it anyway. And that's because really early on I found a balance between taking care of myself, knowing what I had to do to be healthy, and being a normal kid. And so for me, 6th grade through my senior year of high school, I took choir tour trips with my church and with the state. That love for singing and the opportunities that I was given through being a normal social child led me to things like this. And traveling with CF with a group like this wasn't actually a big deal, like I kind of expected it to be. So you've got to plan out ahead of time. You've got to plan out how many treatments am I going to do. I'm going to bring some extra stuff in case I drop something on the floor. You've got to plan out all of the medicines ahead of time. But ultimately, it just wasn't a big deal. It was like in our household, CF was not a big deal. You did what you had to do, you knew what you had to do, but you left it at that. It's not what we focused on. And so for these trips, we told the nurse who was on the trip with us that, hey, I have CF, I got this though, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. And so everything stayed with me. I always roomed with somebody that I was really close to, so it wasn't like some awkward situation trying to explain all these machines I brought with me. And so singing was such an important part of my life that helped me have the normal childhood and all the way through high school. And I still sing for fun, mostly just in church. But I think the main thing in my life that was the most important for being healthy and being social was soccer. Soccer, without a doubt, had the greatest impact on my life. It started out just something I wanted to do because my brothers did it, but it turned out to be a passion that changed my life. When my mom retired from coaching, my teammates and I had this decision to make. Where do we go from here? We played with my mom. We played Rec Plus, so recreational. We signed up to play. We were amazing as a team. I just want to say, but there wasn't any competition as far as getting on the team. So we all made the decision to go up to that next level, to the elite level. where every single time you wanted to play on the team, you had to try out for it. And there was no, oh, we feel bad for you because you have CF. Yeah, you can make the team. Like, they're not going to waste their time with that. Like, if you want to be on the team, you got to be good enough. So I was confident in my abilities and my health status and everything that I could do, that I knew I would try out with all my teammates, and we all made the team. So my elite play lasted a couple of years, and it spanned 2 different teams. But my true passion for soccer came when I played for high school. Well, here's just some of my elite play. I played on field and in the goal, and I did not play in the goal because I couldn't run and have health problems. Like, I played in the goal because I was good at it. Sorry, but I was. I'm just gonna throw that out there. But I forgot to mention also one of my years on my elite team, they named me most determined, and that was really important to me because my team had named me this, and some of them knew the battles that I struggled, or the things that I overcame, just because they knew me and have known me for years, and then other people didn't, but they still found me to be most determined, and that was really important to me, and to those people who really knew, the day to day. I played in the goal because I was good at it. Sorry, but I was. I'm just gonna throw that out there. But I forgot to mention also one of my years on my elite team, they named me most determined, and that was really important to me because my team had named me this, and some of them knew the battles that I struggled, or the things that I overcame, just because they knew me and have known me for years, and then other people didn't, but they still found me to be most determined, and that was really important to me, and to those people who really knew, the day to day. So, yeah, in high school soccer, that was just like, I played for Magnet. I played for 4 years. My first year, I was junior varsity with everybody else, and I was the goalie there. I was a full-time goalie. And my freshman year, I was named MVP, and I played varsity the following 3 years. My sophomore and junior year, I was a starter usually, and I was a regular defender, or if they really needed me, they'd put me up at front, or I was second string goalie. So if they needed me there, that's where I went. My senior year, I was a captain, I was a starting goalie, and was named MVP again. But those 4 years of Magnet soccer were just, they were the best 4 years, probably, soccer of my life. And I was in Magnet's history, and I was really proud to say that I was a contributor and a leader. So I could sit here and honestly talk about these days like forever, my glory days, what I like to refer to them as. But what I really want to get across to you is that, with soccer, it was really important because I trained 3 to 4 or 5 days a week sometimes, and played really hard, but I wasn't just running for running's sake. I didn't just get up in the morning and force myself to go run. I ran because I had a passion for something. And because I had that passion, that drive, I stayed healthy because the passion was for exercise.
So really, by the time she was in high school, she was taking full responsibility for her health and for maintaining her health. And we were, in the home, Bill and I, we had oversight. We were making sure, we sometimes asked, did you get that done, whatever. But really, it was hers, and she owned it. And so that made it so that we knew confidently that when she was ready to go to college and live away from home, that she had already demonstrated that she could take care of herself. And so then we realized, that our role was going to shift to more support from a distance.
College. All right. I was really ready to get out of the house. No offense, parents. But moving away to college was the right choice for me. I was only an hour away. I'm at Louisiana Tech. So I'm only in Ruston, but I was living on campus and loving every minute of it. I was raised to be an independent child, therefore an independent adult, so I was ready to spread my wings and get out of there. But Dad works at Tech, so he was driving back and forth, maybe 3-4 days a week, and so he was actually just invaluable as a person in my life because I wasn't really able to clean treatment pieces very well over there in Ruston, and so I was able to send them back with him, and he could bring them and any sort of medicine. So despite my mom's cries, I did not come home as often as she liked. And so when I went to college, I was really afraid that I wasn't going to find time to do my treatments and take my medicines and everything. But as I learned when I was growing up, everything is a choice. I had the choice to make time. I had the choice to take my medicines or not. And whatever the choice was, I had to bear the consequences, good or bad. So be healthy and enjoy college or not. And really, I ended up being actually very compliant for the most part. But I wasn't really worried about that. Actually, it ended up being my social life I was more afraid of. Because suddenly I'm with people that I didn't know growing up. These people who didn't play soccer with me when I was 4 and learned my entire life. I joined a sorority, which was completely against what I really thought I was going to do over there. But I joined a sorority, and that ended up just being the best thing I could possibly do. It was right for me. And so now I suddenly had 100 girls that I was with on a regular basis, and oh my gosh, do I tell them? How do I bring it up? When am I going to tell them? Do I tell them? Like, am I going to be an outcast? Like, are they going to label me? Like, these were all things that were constantly going through my head. I was really afraid. So freshman year, I kind of kept it all to myself. But my sophomore year, I decided to announce one day that, hey, the Great Strides Walk is coming up, and I'd kind of like to make a team. And instead of just going on our natural desire to do philanthropic things, I decided to go ahead and mention, it's kind of really important to me because I have CF. And so I was kind of waiting for either, everyone to just kind of like scoot away from me, or, I didn't really know what was going to happen, but I had overwhelming support from my friends within my sorority and actually in other sororities and outside of Greek life entirely. And a team was formed, and the girls that could come, they came. The girls that couldn't helped raise money, and it was just this amazing event. And I actually have, I got to write, oh gosh, don't fall. I actually got to write a full-page article about it in our national magazine. So it actually is a big deal. And so I learned something really important. People will not label you unless you label yourself. If I walk up to people and introduce myself as, hey, I'm Andrea Ray, I have cystic fibrosis, that's how they're going to remember me. But if I don't label myself, then they're just going to know me as Andrea Ray, as their friend, their teammate, their sorority sister, whatever it may be. So that was really an important lesson that I learned in college. And well, I also want to mention that, all this sounds great, but I haven't always had like the perfect bill of health. Me and my 100% compliance over here. I have been hospitalized several times for IVs, antibiotics, and I have had a sinus surgery. And these times of my life are referred to as bumps in the road at my house. They're not roadblocks, they're just speed bumps in the road. And despite everything, we have to keep going. They're not roadblocks, you keep going. And so there are, a few key things that you need to stay healthy. You need to have that strong support system that we had mentioned before, whatever that means to you. You need to exercise. So join a sport, have a reason to get involved, have a reason to go out and run. You need to be compliant with everything that the doctors and all of our nurses and everybody asks. And take all your medicines, do all your treatments, avoid smoky areas, just the basics, the drill. And have a little bit of luck, honestly. That's what I like to tell my friends. So lastly, as a senior in college, I get asked a lot, so what do you want to do? What are you doing? What's going to happen? I don't have a clue. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I graduate in November, I don't have a clue. But one thing that I know I want to do is I eventually would like to have a family. I would like to raise kids. I would like to, raise my kids on the same principles that I was raised, because I think that turned out okay. Yeah. And with the same will and determination to overcome everything in life. And no matter what that obstacle may be for them, whether it be CF or anything really. But to do that, that means now I have to stay healthy. If I want to have a future with a family, I have to do things now. So, until then, until that future comes, I plan to live life to the fullest and, enjoy life. And, as Mom mentioned earlier, I have CF, but it is not